Child of my heart, what you are about to receive in this moment will change everything. The miracle you have been waiting for is about to become reality. I need you to understand this with every fiber of your being, with every cell in your body, with every corner of your heart that has been longing for change. This is not wishful thinking designed to make you feel better for a moment before reality comes crashing back down. This is not empty words that sound beautiful but carry no substance. This is not a motivational speech that lifts your spirits temporarily, only to leave you more disappointed than before when nothing changes. This is a divine decree that has been issued from my throne in heaven, written in the books of eternity, sealed with my own hand, and nothing in heaven or on earth or under the earth has the power to stop what I have set in motion for your life. The miracle is coming. It is closer than you think. It is closer than your circumstances suggest. It is closer than your feelings have been telling you. It is closer than your fears have been whispering. The breakthrough you have been crying out for is not years away. It is not months away. It is not even weeks away. The gears of heaven have already begun to turn. The mechanisms of my blessing are already in motion. The chains that have been holding back your miracle are already breaking. And I am speaking to you right now, in this exact moment, because I want you to prepare your heart to receive what I am about to release into your life. I know how long you have been waiting. Do not think for one moment that I have been unaware of the passage of time or the weight it has placed on your shoulders. I have watched every single day of this journey with you. I have been present for every sunrise that brought fresh anxiety and every sunset that brought relief that at least you made it through another day. I was there when you first started believing for this breakthrough, when your faith was fresh and untested and strong, when your hope was vibrant and alive, when you were absolutely certain beyond any shadow of doubt that I would come through for you quickly and powerfully and decisively. I was there when the weeks turned into months and the months started feeling like years, and you began to wonder in the quiet moments if you had heard me correctly. You replayed our conversations in your mind. You went back to the scriptures you had underlined. You remembered the prophetic words that had been spoken over you, and you asked yourself if maybe you had misunderstood, if maybe you had read too much into what I said, if maybe you had confused your own desires with my actual promises. I watched you wrestle with those questions, and I understood why you were asking them. I was there when doubt started creeping in, not all at once like a flood, but slowly, persistently, like water seeping through tiny cracks in a wall. First, it was just a whisper of uncertainty that you quickly dismissed. Then it became a nagging thought that came more frequently. Then it became a voice that seemed to get louder every time your circumstances reminded you that nothing had changed. I watched doubt erode your confidence little by little, wearing away at the solid rock of your faith like waves crashing against a shoreline over months and years. I was there when you woke up in the middle of the night with fear gripping your chest so tightly you could barely breathe. Those nights when sleep fled from you and anxiety took its place. Those nights when you lay in the darkness staring at the ceiling asking yourself if this was all for nothing, wondering if the miracle you believed in was just a fantasy you created to help yourself cope with an impossible situation you could not change. Those nights when tears streamed down your face and soaked your pillow, and you felt more alone than you had ever felt in your entire life. I was there for every single one of those nights. I saw the tears you tried to hide from everyone else. I saw the brave face you put on every single morning before you walked out the door. I saw how you answered people when they asked how you were doing, how you said you were fine and everything was okay and God was in control even though inside you were falling apart piece by piece. I saw the smile you forced onto your face when your heart was breaking. I saw the strength you pretended to have when you felt completely weak. I saw the faith you proclaimed with your mouth when your spirit was screaming with doubt. I saw the moments when you almost gave up, when the weight of waiting became so heavy that you did not know if you could carry it for one more hour, let alone one more day. I saw you standing at the edge of surrender, looking down into the abyss of hopelessness, feeling the pull of just letting go and accepting that maybe this was not going to happen for you. I saw how close you came to walking away from everything you believed, from every promise you had held on to, from every hope you had nurtured in your heart. I saw you fighting battles that no one else knew about. The internal struggles that never showed on your face but raged like storms in your soul. The wrestling matches with doubt and fear and despair that left you exhausted even though you had not physically moved. The questions that kept you awake at night. Questions about my goodness. Questions about my faithfulness. Questions about whether I really cared about what you were going through, or if you were just one of millions of people crying out into an empty sky. But here's what you need to understand, my precious child. And I need you to let these words sink deep down into the very foundation of your being. I did not choose you for defeat. That was never my plan for you. That has never been my intention toward you. I did not bring you this far through all the struggles and all the tears and all the sleepless nights just to abandon you now when you are so close to the breakthrough. I did not plant this dream in your heart, this hope that refuses to completely die no matter how many times circumstances try to kill it, just to watch it wither and fade into nothing. You were destined for triumph from the very beginning. Before you were born, before your parents met, before your grandparents took their first breath, I had already written victory into your story. Your story was never meant to end in disappointment. Your journey was never designed to lead to a dead end where you would sit down in defeat and accept that this is just the way things are going to be. Every single thing you have walked through, every hardship, every delay, every setback, every moment of confusion and pain has been preparation for what is coming. Every delay has had purpose, even when you could not see it. Every setback has been setting you up for something greater than you could have imagined when you first started asking me for this breakthrough. The reason I am speaking to you right now with such urgency and such clarity is because the season of waiting is coming to an end. Not eventually in some vague and distant future that you cannot really imagine. Not someday when conditions are right and everything lines up perfectly. The shift is happening now. Right now. Even as you are receiving these words into your spirit. The gears of heaven have been turning on your behalf for longer than you know. And the breakthrough you have been believing for is about to manifest in your life in ways that will leave you absolutely astonished. I want you to prepare your heart for what is coming. I want you to open your mind to the possibility that everything is about to change. I want you to start expecting the miracle instead of just hoping for it. I want you to begin positioning yourself to receive what I have been preparing for you all along. You see, there's a significant difference between hoping and expecting that I need you to understand. Hope is beautiful. Hope is precious. Hope kept you alive during the darkest seasons when everything around you was screaming that there was no point in continuing. Hope gave you something to hold on to when everything else was slipping away like sand through your fingers. Hope whispered that maybe, just maybe, things could get better. And I am grateful for every moment you chose hope over despair, because that choice took more strength than you realize. But now I am calling you to move from hope into expectation. Hope says maybe it could happen. Expectation says it is going to happen, and I need to get ready. Hope looks off into the distance, wondering if the promise is out there somewhere. Expectation looks at the door knowing it is about to open, and positions itself to walk through the moment it does. I want you to wake up every single day looking for evidence of my movement in your life. I want you to stop asking if the miracle will come and start preparing for when it arrives. I want you to begin making room in your life for the blessing that is on its way to you. Let me tell you something about how I work, because I think you have forgotten some things during this long season of waiting. I am not limited by the things that limit you. The boundaries that seem absolute and unmovable to you are nothing more than suggestions to me. I am not bound by the circumstances that have you feeling trapped in a situation with no exit. I am not restricted by the timelines that seem to be running out, the deadlines that are approaching, the clocks that are ticking down toward what looks like inevitable disaster. I am not confined by the resources that appear to be insufficient, the bank accounts that are nearly empty, the opportunities that seem to have dried up completely. When I decide to move on behalf of one of my children, nothing can stop me. No force in heaven or on earth or under the earth has the power to block what I have determined to do. Mountains move out of my way. Rivers part before me. Walls that have stood for generations fall down at the sound of my voice. The impossible becomes possible in an instant. The The breakthrough happens in ways that defy human logic and explanation, in ways that no one could have predicted or planned for, in ways that leave everyone who sees it knowing without doubt that this was not the work of human hands, but the intervention of Almighty God. Right now, even as you are hearing these words, I am working behind the scenes of your life in ways you cannot see. You look at your situation and you see what appears to be the same circumstances, the same problems, the same obstacles, the same impossibilities. But what you see with your natural eyes is not the complete picture. There is a realm you cannot perceive with your physical senses where things are happening on your behalf that would take your breath away if you could witness them. I am arranging things right now for your breakthrough. I am moving pieces into position like a master chess player who sees not just the next move, but the next 100 moves. I am positioning people who do not even know yet that they are going to play a role in your miracle. They are going about their daily lives with no awareness that I have selected them to be part of the answer to your prayers. I am opening doors that you do not even know exist yet. Doors that you could never have found on your own. Doors that will lead to opportunities beyond anything you have imagined. I am removing obstacles that have been blocking your path. Some of those obstacles you know about because you have been staring at them and praying against them and wondering how they could ever be overcome. But other obstacles you do not even know exist because they have been operating in hidden places, working against you in ways you never detected. I see them all, and I am dismantling them one by one. I am dealing with enemies you did not even know you had, forces that have been assigned to delay and frustrate and ultimately destroy the destiny I have prepared for you. They thought they were hidden. They thought they were undetected. But nothing is hidden from my eyes, and I am exposing and defeating every single one of them. I am preparing the ground for the harvest that is coming to you. When a farmer plants seeds, there is work that must be done to the soil before those seeds can take root and grow and produce fruit. The ground must be cleared of rocks and weeds. It must be tilled and aerated. It must be enriched with nutrients. All of this happens before anything visibly grows, before there is any evidence that the seed is doing what it was designed to do. I have been doing that kind of preparation work in your life. You cannot see it yet, but the ground is ready and the harvest is about to spring forth. You cannot see any of this with your natural eyes. You look at your circumstances and everything appears the same as it was yesterday and last week and last month. But I am asking you to see it with the eyes of faith. I am asking you to trust that what I am telling you is true, even though you cannot prove it yet. I am asking you to believe that behind what you can see, there is a whole other reality where your breakthrough has already been accomplished, where your victory has already been won, where your miracle has already been released and is now traveling toward you at supernatural speed. The miracle that is coming to you is not going to look like the world's version of provision. I need you to understand this because I do not want you to miss what I am doing, because it does not come in the package you were expecting. When the world provides, there are always strings attached. Always. Nothing is ever truly free. There is always something expected in return, always a debt to be paid later, always a favor that will be called in when you least expect it. When the world gives, there is always an agenda behind the giving, always self-interest masquerading as generosity, always conditions whether spoken or unspoken. When the world offers a solution to your problems, it usually comes with hidden costs that you do not discover until later. You sign on the dotted line, relieved that your immediate crisis has been addressed, and it is only weeks or months or years later that you realize the solution created bigger problems than the ones it solved. The fine print you did not read, the consequences you did not anticipate, the trap that was disguised as a way out. But when I provide for my children, I provide in a way that brings freedom, not bondage. My provision does not enslave you. It liberates you. I provide in a way that brings peace, not anxiety. My provision does not keep you up at night worrying about how you are going to pay it back or what is going to be demanded of you in return. I provide in a way that brings joy, not regret. My provision does not leave you wishing you had found another way or wondering if you made a terrible mistake by accepting it. The blessing that is heading toward you right now is going to come without debt. I need you to hear this and believe it, because the enemy is going to try to convince you that you cannot receive something for nothing, that there must be a catch, that you are going to have to pay for this somehow. But I am telling you right now that what I am sending to you is free. It is going to come without strings attached. There will be no one calling in favors later. There will be no hidden obligations that you did not know about. There will be no regret down the road when you discover what it really cost you. It is going to come without slavery to any person or system or circumstance. You will not find yourself bound to anyone because of what I give you. You will not owe your allegiance to any institution or individual as payment for the breakthrough. You will not be trapped in any situation because walking away would mean losing the blessing. When I give generously and freely and completely. The gift comes with no strings because my love for you has no conditions. There will be no catch. I know you have been hurt before by things that seemed too good to be true and turned out to be exactly that. I know you have learned to be suspicious of good things because every time something good happened, something bad followed close behind. But this is different. This is from me. There will be no hidden trap waiting to spring. There will be no nasty surprise lurking around the corner. There will be no reason to look over your shoulder wondering when the other shoe is going to drop because there is no other shoe. This miracle is going to be pure. It is going to be clean. It is going to be exactly what you need, delivered in a way that only I can deliver it. At exactly the right time, in exactly the right measure, with exactly the right conditions for you to receive it fully and completely and joyfully. I know you have been feeling the weight of depression pressing down on you. Do not think I have been unaware of the darkness that has been trying to consume you. I have watched it creep into your life like fog rolling in from the sea, slowly at first, then more densely, until some days you could barely see anything through it. I know there have been moments when despair felt like a physical presence in the room with you, sitting on your chest, making it hard to breathe, making it hard to think, making it hard to believe that anything good could ever happen again. I have seen you fighting against that darkness with everything you have. Some days the fight took every ounce of energy you possessed, and you went to bed that night completely exhausted from a battle that no one else could see. I have watched you struggling to keep your head above water when waves of hopelessness kept crashing over you again and again and again. Each time you thought you had found solid ground, another wave would hit, and you would find yourself gasping for air, fighting to survive, wondering how much longer you could keep treading water before your strength finally gave out. And I want you to know that your fighting has not been in vain. Every moment of resistance against the darkness has been recorded in heaven. Your persistence has not gone unnoticed by me or by the angels who have been assigned to watch over your life. Your refusal to give up completely, even when giving up, seemed like the only logical option, even when surrender would have been so much easier than continuing to fight, has been written in the books of heaven as an act of extraordinary faith. You may not feel like a faith hero, but that is exactly what you have been. The depression you have been battling is about to lift. I am not saying this to give you false hope. I am not making a promise I do not intend to keep. I am telling you what is about to happen, because it is already happening in the spiritual realm and is about to break through into your physical experience. The darkness is going to lift, not because you finally figured out how to think your way out of it, not because you found the right technique or the right medication or the right combination of positive thoughts. It is going to lift because I am going to move in your situation in a way that changes everything. When the miracle arrives, it is going to bring with it a joy that drives out the darkness like the sun drives away the night. You will not have to manufacture this joy or work hard to maintain it. It will be a natural response to what I have done, a spontaneous overflow of a heart that has finally seen the goodness of God break through into tangible reality. It is going to bring a hope that is stronger than despair, a hope that is not based on wishful thinking, but on the solid foundation of experienced breakthrough. It is going to bring a peace that makes no sense given your circumstances, but fills your heart anyway, a peace that passes understanding, a peace that guards your heart and mind in ways you have not experienced before. I want you to understand something important about why the miracle is coming now. The timing is not random. It may feel random to you because you cannot see the bigger picture. but I assure you that every detail of the timing has been precisely calibrated. I have not been making you wait just to test your patience or see how much you could endure before breaking. That is not who I am. That is not how I operate with my children. The timing of this breakthrough has been carefully orchestrated for maximum impact in your life. There were things that needed to be developed in you before you were ready to receive what I wanted to give you. There were parts of your character that needed to be refined, rough edges that needed to be smoothed, weaknesses that needed to be strengthened, blind spots that needed to be illuminated. There were perspectives that needed to be adjusted because the way you saw things before would have caused you to mishandle the blessing when it came. There were relationships that needed to be evaluated because some of the people in your life were not positioned to help you steward the breakthrough, but to steal it from you or convince you to squander it. There were priorities that needed to be realigned because what you thought was most important before was actually getting in the way of what I had prepared for you. All of this work has been happening during the waiting, and now that work is complete. If I had given you this miracle earlier, you would not have been prepared to steward it properly. I know that is hard to hear because you have spent so much time wishing I would have moved sooner, wondering why I was taking so long, feeling frustrated that I seemed to be inactive when you were in so much pain. But I see things you do not see. I know things you do not know. If the breakthrough had come when you first asked for it, you might have missed the deeper lessons I wanted to teach you during the waiting. If the answer had arrived on your timeline instead of mine, it would not have been the complete answer you needed. You might have received partial provision that left you still lacking, still struggling, still crying out for more. You might have gotten temporary relief that did not address the root issues, a band-aid solution that covered the wound without healing it, so that the same problem would have erupted again later, possibly even worse than before. You might have experienced a breakthrough that actually set you up for bigger problems down the road because you did not yet have the character and wisdom to handle it properly. But because you waited, because you trusted me even when you did not understand what I was doing, because you kept believing even when belief seemed foolish and everyone around you was telling you to be realistic and accept your situation, you are now ready to receive the fullness of what I have prepared for you. The miracle that is coming is not a half measure. It is not a temporary fix that will need to be repeated in a few months. It is not a band-aid solution to a deep wound that really requires surgery. It is complete. It is comprehensive. It addresses not just the immediate need that has been keeping you awake at night, but the underlying causes that created the need in the first place. It provides not just for the present moment, but establishes you for the future. I want you to think about what I saw in you during this season of waiting. When you look at yourself, you see all the failures and shortcomings. You remember every moment of doubt, every word of complaint, every time you almost gave up. But let me tell you what I saw. I saw someone who refused to let go of faith even when faith seemed unreasonable by every standard of human logic. I saw someone who kept coming back to me in prayer even when the prayers seemed to be hitting the ceiling and bouncing back, even when it felt like no one was listening, even when silence was the only response you seemed to receive. I saw someone who chose to trust my character even when my actions did not make sense. You could not understand why I was allowing you to suffer, why I was letting the situation continue, why I was not intervening when the solution seemed so simple from your perspective. But instead of deciding that I was cruel or uncaring or non-existent, you decided that there must be something you did not understand. You chose to believe that I was good even when my goodness was invisible. You chose to believe that I was faithful even when my faithfulness was not immediately evident. You chose to believe that I was trustworthy even when every circumstance in life seemed to be arguing the opposite. That kind of faith moves me. That kind of trust opens doors in the spiritual realm that cannot be opened any other way. Doors that remain sealed shut to those who demand that I prove myself before they will believe. Doors that only swing open in response to the faith of those who believe before they see. That kind of persistence breaks through barriers that would stop most people cold. Barriers that have kept breakthrough from countless others who gave up too soon, who decided the wait was too long, who convinced themselves that the promise must not have been real. You may not feel like a person of great faith. When you examine your heart, you see all the doubts and fears and struggles. You remember every time you questioned me, every moment of uncertainty, every night when belief felt impossible. But I am telling you that the faith you demonstrated during this waiting season is greater than you know. The faith that kept believing when it had every reason to stop. The faith that held on when letting go would have been so much easier. The faith that whispered maybe tomorrow, even after hundreds of yesterdays had come and gone without change. That faith has qualified you for what is coming next. Let me speak directly to the fear that has been living in your heart. I know about the cave you have been hiding in. Not a physical cave with rock walls and a dark entrance, but an emotional and spiritual cave where you retreated when life became too overwhelming to face. You went into that cave to protect yourself, and I understand why you did it. The pain was too much. The disappointment was too frequent. The attacks were too relentless. Something in you decided that the only way to survive was to retreat, to pull back, to make yourself small and hidden and safe. You pulled back from relationships because getting close to people meant risking being hurt again, and you had been hurt enough. You pulled back from opportunities because pursuing them meant risking failure, and you had failed enough times that you could not bear the thought of failing again. You pulled back from risks of any kind because risk meant the possibility of loss, and you had already lost so much that you were terrified of losing anything more. You built walls around your heart because the idea of being vulnerable felt too dangerous. You learned to show people only what you wanted them to see, to keep your true self hidden behind layers of protection, to never let anyone get close enough to hurt you the way you had been hurt before. You stopped dreaming big dreams because the disappointment of unfulfilled dreams was too painful to bear. It was easier to want nothing than to want something and not get it. It was safer to expect nothing than to expect something and be let down again. I understand why you retreated into that cave. I am not angry with you for seeking shelter from the storm. The cave served its purpose. It protected you during a season when you needed protection. It gave you space to catch your breath when you were being overwhelmed. It allowed you to survive when everything in your environment seemed designed to destroy you. But I am coming to you now to tell you that it is time to come out. The season has changed. The danger that drove you into hiding is being dealt with. The threats that made you feel unsafe are being removed. The enemies that caused you to fear are being scattered by my hand. The storm that was raging has begun to calm. The cave served its purpose for a season, but that season is ending. If you stay in the cave now, if you cling to the safety of hiding when I am calling you out into the open, you will miss the miracle that is waiting for you outside. Coming out of the cave is going to require courage. I am not going to pretend it will be easy because I do not deal in deception, and I know what I am asking of you. After spending so much time in the darkness of fear, the light of faith is going to feel uncomfortable at first. Your eyes will need time to adjust. After protecting yourself by staying small and hidden, stepping out into visibility is going to feel risky. Everything in you will scream that this is dangerous, that you should stay where it is safe, that coming out is inviting disaster. After avoiding disappointment by not expecting anything good, allowing yourself to expect the miracle is going to feel vulnerable. You will have to open yourself up to the possibility of being let down again, and that takes more bravery than most people understand. But I am going to be with you every step of the way. I am not sending you out of the cave alone to face whatever dangers might be waiting. I am walking with you. I am walking beside you, my presence a constant companion. I am walking before you, scouting the path ahead and removing obstacles. I am walking behind you, protecting your back from attacks you cannot see coming. I am surrounding you with my presence and my protection, so that you can step out in confidence rather than fear. The courage you need is not something you have to manufacture on your own through sheer force of will. It is not something you have to dig deep within yourself to find, hoping there is enough strength left after all you have been through. The courage to step out of the cave is a gift I am giving you right now, in this very moment, as these words penetrate your spirit and begin to do their work. Receive it. Do not push it away. Do not tell yourself you are not worthy of it. Let it settle into your spirit like rain soaking into dry ground. Let it strengthen your heart that has been weakened by so much disappointment. Let it put steel in your spine that has been bent under the weight of so many burdens. Let it put fire in your eyes that have grown dim from staring into darkness for so long. You are not the same person who retreated into hiding. The waiting season has transformed you in ways you do not fully recognize yet. You are stronger than you realize because strength is built through struggle, and you have struggled more than most. You are braver than you feel because bravery is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to move forward despite it. And you are still here, still moving, still believing. You are more capable than you believe because capability is developed through challenges, and you have faced challenges that would have broken people who started with twice your resources. As you step out of the cave of fear, I want you to understand that your identity is being renewed. You are not defined by what you have lost, the things that were taken from you, the opportunities that slipped away, the relationships that ended, the dreams that died. None of these things determine who you are. You are not defined by what has been done to you. The words that wounded you, the betrayals that broke your heart, the injustices that left you reeling, the cruelties that made you wonder if there was any goodness left in the world. These things happen to you, but they are not you. You are not defined by the failures and mistakes and disappointments of your past. The times you fell short, the decisions you regret, the things you wish you could go back and do differently. These are chapters in your story, but they are not the title. You are not defined by the labels that others have placed on you, the names they called you, the boxes they tried to put you in, the limitations they tried to impose on your future based on their assessment of your past. None of that defines you. You are not even defined by the labels you have placed on yourself, the cruel names you call yourself in the privacy of your own mind, the limiting beliefs you have accepted about what you are capable of and what you deserve. Let me tell you who you really are. You are my child. That is your primary identity, and everything else flows from that. You are loved beyond measure, not because of anything you have done, but because I have chosen to love you with an everlasting love. You are valued beyond calculation, not based on your productivity or your success or your usefulness to others, but simply because you exist, and you are mine. You are chosen for purpose, hand-selected by me before you were born for a destiny that is bigger than anything you have imagined. You are destined for victory, not defeat, not perpetual struggle, not a life of barely surviving. Let me tell you about the person I see when I look at you. When you look in the mirror, you see all the flaws and failures. You see the exhaustion and the disappointment. You see someone who has been beaten down by life and does not have much left to give. But I see someone completely different. I do not see someone who is broken beyond repair. I see someone who has been through the fire and come out refined. The fire burned away what was worthless and left behind what was precious. I do not see someone who is too weak to handle what is ahead. I see someone who has been strengthened by struggle in ways they do not even recognize yet. The very trials that made you feel weak were actually building muscles you did not know you had. I do not see someone who deserves to be left in lack and limitation. I see someone who deserves to experience the abundance I have prepared for them. The identity you are stepping into is not based on your performance. It is not earned by how well you follow the rules or how perfectly you live your life. It is based on my love for you, which is unconditional and unchanging and unfailing. Nothing you have done or could ever do will make me love you more than I love you right now. Nothing you have failed to do or could ever fail to do will make me love you less than I love you in this moment. My love for you is not a variable that goes up and down based on your behavior. It is a constant. It is the most reliable thing in the universe. It is the foundation upon which everything else in your life can be built. As the miracle begins to manifest in your life, I want you to pay attention to what happens to your heart. The arrival of breakthrough does more than just solve problems. It transforms perspectives. It shifts the way you see everything. It reorients your entire understanding of how life works and what is possible. When you have been struggling with lack for a long time, abundance can feel disorienting at first. You have become so accustomed to not having enough that having more than enough almost does not compute. You may find yourself waiting for the other shoe to drop, expecting the abundance to be taken away, unable to fully enjoy what I have given because you are bracing for its loss. When you have been fighting against opposition for so long, peace can feel strange. You have grown so used to being in battle mode that you do not know how to function when there is nothing to fight against. When you have been carrying heavy burdens for what seems like forever, freedom can feel almost uncomfortable. The weight you have been carrying has become so familiar that its absence leaves you feeling off balance. Allow the miracle to do its full work in you. Do not just accept the external change while holding on to the internal patterns of the past. Let the breakthrough change not just your circumstances but your mindset. Let the provision do more than meet your needs. Let it heal the wounds that lack created. Let it repair the scars left behind by all those seasons of not having enough. Let the open door be more than just an opportunity to walk through. Let it restore the hope that closed doors destroyed. Let it rebuild your expectation that good things can happen to you. Let the victory do more than defeat your enemies. Let it rebuild the confidence that defeat eroded. Let it restore your belief in your own ability to overcome. When I think about what is coming for you, I am filled with joy. This is not something I am saying to make you feel good. I am telling you what I actually experience when I consider the breakthrough that is about to enter your life. I know what you have been through. I know how hard this season has been. I know about the nights you could not sleep, tossing and turning, your mind racing with worries that would not quiet down no matter how much you prayed or how hard you tried to think about something else. I know about the days you could barely function, when getting out of bed was a victory and making it through the day without falling apart completely was an achievement. I know about the relationships that were strained by the pressure you were under, how the stress leaked out and affected the people closest to you, even though you tried so hard to keep it contained. I know about the dreams that started to feel more like cruel jokes than genuine possibilities, how the things you once believed for with excitement became sources of pain because they reminded you of how far away breakthrough seemed to be. I have been intimately aware of every single moment of your struggle. Not a single second of your suffering has escaped my attention, and the breakthrough that is coming is going to make it all worth it. I am not saying that the struggle was good, or that you should be grateful for the pain. The struggle was hard, and the pain was real, and I never minimize what my children go through. I am saying that the breakthrough is going to be so significant, so complete, so overwhelmingly good, that when you look back on this season from the other side, you will understand why it was necessary. You will see the connections you could not see while you were in the middle of it. You will recognize the growth that happened in ways you did not notice at the time. You will appreciate the preparation that was taking place, even when it felt like nothing was happening. Let me paint a picture for you of what life is going to look like after the miracle arrives. I want you to see it clearly in your mind, because what you can see in your spirit is what you can receive in your life. Vision is not just imagination, it is preparation. When you can see the breakthrough before it comes, you position yourself to receive it when it arrives. Picture yourself waking up without the weight of worry pressing down on your chest before your eyes even open. You know that feeling, that sinking sensation that hits you the moment consciousness returns, when you remember all the problems waiting for you and the day feels heavy before it even begins. Picture that weight being gone. Picture yourself waking up with peace, with expectation, with a sense that this day holds good things instead of dreading what it might bring. Picture yourself going through your day without constantly calculating and strategizing and trying to figure out how to make impossible numbers work. Without that running tally in your head that tracks every expense against every resource and always comes up short. Without that constant low-level panic that never fully goes away, that sits in the background of every moment reminding you that you are not okay. Picture yourself lying down at night in peace, actually looking forward to tomorrow instead of dreading it, actually feeling rested instead of anxious, actually sleeping soundly instead of waking up repeatedly with your heart pounding. Picture the relationships in your life being restored and strengthened now that the pressure of lack is no longer straining them. The tension that has been building between you and the people you love because stress makes everything harder. The short temper that has replaced your natural patience. The emotional unavailability that has crept in because you have nothing left to give after fighting to survive all day. Picture all of that melting away as the pressure lifts and you become yourself again. Picture the joy returning to your face, not the forced smile you have been wearing to convince everyone, including yourself, that you were okay. The real joy that comes from a heart that is free. The kind of joy that bubbles up without effort. The kind of joy that lights up your eyes and makes people wonder what has changed about you. Picture the energy you're going to have when you are no longer exhausted from carrying burdens you were never designed to carry alone. The miracle is going to affect every area of your life. It is not just going to solve one problem while leaving everything else in chaos. It is going to create a ripple effect that touches your health, your relationships, your purpose, your peace of mind, your spiritual life, your emotional well-being. When I move comprehensively. I do not do half measures. When I restore completely. When I bless abundantly. What is coming to you is not a small adjustment to your circumstances. It is a total transformation. I want you to start thanking me for the miracle now, before you see it with your eyes. This is not denial of your current circumstances. You are not pretending that things are different than they are. This is faith in action. This is choosing to align your words and your heart with what I have declared over your life, rather than with what your situation currently looks like. When you thank me in advance for the breakthrough, you are demonstrating that you trust me. You are showing that you believe my word more than you believe the evidence of your senses. Praise me for the provision before it arrives. Worship me for the victory before the battle is won. Thank me for the healing before the symptoms disappear. This kind of faith moves mountains. This kind of trust unlocks doors that remain sealed to those who need to see before they will believe. This kind of confident expectation positions you to receive everything I have prepared for you. There is another reason I am speaking to you so directly right now about this coming miracle. I know that there are voices that have been trying to convince you that it is never going to happen. Some of those voices have come from other people. Well-meaning friends or family members who told you to be realistic, to lower your expectations, to stop believing for something that seemed too good to be true. They did not say these things to hurt you. They were trying to protect you from disappointment, trying to prepare you for the possibility that things might not work out the way you hoped. But their words planted seeds of doubt that have been hard to uproot, seeds that grew into weeds that have been choking your faith. Some of those voices have come from your own mind, the inner critic that constantly points out all the reasons why the breakthrough cannot happen. The voice that sounds like your own voice, but only ever says negative things. The analytical part of you that looks at the evidence and concludes that faith is foolish. The wounded part of you that is afraid to believe again because believing and being disappointed is more painful than not believing at all. Some of those voices have come from the enemy of your soul, who has been working overtime to steal your hope and destroy your faith and kill the dreams I planted in your heart. He has been whispering lies in your ear when you are most vulnerable, telling you that I have forgotten about you, that I do not care about your situation, that I am not going to come through for you this time even though I came through before. He has been pointing to every unanswered prayer and every delayed promise as proof that I cannot be trusted, as evidence that you are foolish to keep believing. I want you to silence every one of those voices right now, not tomorrow when you feel stronger, not after you see the miracle and have proof that they were wrong. Right now, in this moment, with nothing but my word to stand on. The people who told you to be realistic do not know what I know about your situation. They do not have access to the resources I have access to. They cannot see the future I have planned for you. The analytical part of your mind has its place, but it cannot comprehend the supernatural. The enemy who has been lying to you is a defeated foe whose only power is the power you give him by believing his lies. I am trustworthy. I have never failed one of my children who trusted in me completely. I have never abandoned anyone who put their hope in me. I have never broken a single promise I have made, not one in all of history. My track record is perfect. My faithfulness is absolute. My power is unlimited. And I am telling you right now, looking into the depths of your heart, that this miracle is going to happen. It is not a question of if. It is only a question of when. And the when is now. I know there have been times when you wondered if I was even listening to your prayers. You poured out your heart to me again and again, and when nothing seemed to change, You started to question whether anyone was on the other end of the line. You felt like you were talking to the ceiling, your words bouncing back without ever reaching my ears. You felt like your prayers were disappearing into a void, swallowed up by silence, doing nothing and going nowhere. But I heard every single prayer, every whispered plea in the darkness when you did not have the energy for loud cries. Every desperate shout in the middle of the night when pain broke through your composure. Every silent groan that was too deep for words, when the burden was so heavy that you could not even articulate what you needed. I heard them all. I collected them all. Every prayer has been stored up in heaven like rain collected in a reservoir. And now the dam is breaking and the answer is flooding forth. I responded to every one of those prayers, even though you could not see or feel my response at the time. Every prayer has been working. Every tear has been recorded. Every moment of faith has been building toward the breakthrough that is now upon you. The miracle is not coming despite your prayers. It is coming because of your prayers. Your persistent asking has moved my hand. Your continual seeking has opened doors. Your repeated knocking has unlocked resources that are now being released into your life. As we approach the moment of manifestation, I want to address one more thing that might be hindering you from fully receiving what I have for you. It is the feeling that you do not deserve it. Somewhere along the way, you became convinced that you had to earn my blessing through perfect behavior, through flawless faith, through a spotless record. And because you know that you have not been perfect, because you remember every mistake and failure and sin, you have a hard time believing that I would choose to bless you. Let me be absolutely clear about this because it is important, and because so many of my children misunderstand this fundamental truth. The miracle that is coming to you is not a reward for good behavior. It is not payment for services rendered. It is not compensation for suffering endured. It is a gift, pure and simple. It is an expression of my love for you, which you did not earn and cannot earn, and will never be able to earn no matter how hard you try or how good you become. You do not deserve the miracle. You are absolutely right about that. No one deserves my grace. That is why it is called grace. But here's the beautiful truth of my kingdom that transforms everything once you understand it. I do not give based on what is deserved. I give based on my nature, which is love. I give based on my character, which is generous. I give based on my heart toward you, which is full of compassion and mercy and grace. You will never be good enough to deserve my blessing, but you will always be loved enough to receive it. So stop disqualifying yourself. Stop looking at your past and deciding that it makes you ineligible for breakthrough. Stop comparing yourself to others who seem more worthy and concluding that they will get the miracle instead of you. I am not comparing you to anyone. I am not grading on a curve. I am not distributing blessings based on a ranking system where the most deserving get the most and the least deserving get nothing. I am looking at you, just you, my precious child, and I am pouring out blessing on you simply because I love you, and it brings me joy to see you flourish. The miracle that is coming is going to establish you. It is not just going to get you through this difficult season and leave you vulnerable to the next crisis that comes along. It is going to set you up for many seasons to come. I am not interested in temporary fixes that provide momentary relief, but leave the underlying issues unaddressed. I am not interested in partial solutions that leave you still struggling, just at a lower level than before. I am interested in establishing you on a firm foundation that cannot be shaken, regardless of what storms may blow through your life in the future. The provision that is heading toward you right now is going to be more than enough. It is not going to be just barely sufficient, where you have exactly what you need with nothing left over. It is not going to leave you living on the edge, where any unexpected expense would push you back into crisis. It is going to be abundant. It is going to be overflowing. It is going to be so generous that you will have more than you need for yourself, and plenty left over to bless others. This abundance is intentional. I want you to be in a position to give, not just to receive. I want you to experience the joy of being a conduit of blessing to others who are still in their waiting season. I want you to be living proof that I come through for my children, so that others will see your life and have their own faith strengthened. Your miracle is not just about you. It is about everyone your life touches. It is about the testimony you will carry. It is about the hope you will be able to offer to others who are walking where you once walked. I have been preparing you to be a testimony. The trials you have endured have given you a platform that you could not have built any other way. People will listen to you who would not listen to someone who has never suffered. The struggles you have survived have given you credibility that you could not have earned any other way. When you speak of breakthrough, it will carry weight because everyone will know that you are not speaking theory but experience. The breakthrough that is coming is going to give you a story that will inspire and encourage and challenge everyone who hears it. Now I want to speak about what happens the moment after the miracle arrives. This is important because many of my children receive breakthrough but then lose it because they do not know how to steward the blessing properly. They receive what they asked for, and then through ignorance or carelessness or poor decisions, they watch it slip away. I do not want that to happen to you. I want the miracle that is coming to be permanent, not temporary. I want it to be the beginning of a new season, not just a brief interruption in an ongoing struggle. When the breakthrough happens, guard your heart against pride. This is one of the most common traps that catches my children after I bless them. It will be tempting to take credit for the victory. You fought so hard and believed so long and suffered so much that it will be easy to start believing that you somehow earned this through your own efforts. It will be easy to forget how helpless you felt during the waiting and start believing that you somehow made this happen. But pride goes before a fall. If you forget that I am the source of everything good in your life, if you start acting like you are self-sufficient and no longer need me, you will find yourself back in lack before long. Stay humble, stay grateful, stay connected to me. The same dependence on me that brought you through the waiting season needs to continue in the season of abundance. I am not just your provider when times are hard. I am your provider always. The blessing flows from relationship with me. If you maintain the relationship, the blessing will continue to flow. If you let the relationship grow cold now that you have what you wanted, you will find the blessing beginning to dry up. Also, guard against the temptation to hoard. When you have experienced lack, it is natural to want to hold on to everything you receive with a tight fist. You know what it feels like to not have enough, and you never want to feel that way again. So you grip what I give you as tightly as possible. But that kind of fearful grasping actually restricts the flow of blessing in your life. I am not asking you to be reckless or irresponsible with what I give you, but I am asking you to hold it loosely, with an open hand, ready to share with others as I direct. The more you give, the more you will receive. This is a kingdom principle that has proven true throughout all of history. Let me tell you about the person you are becoming through this process. When the miracle arrives and you look in the mirror, you are going to see someone different than the person who started this journey. The struggle has shaped you. The waiting has refined you. The faith you have exercised has strengthened you in ways you do not fully appreciate yet. You are becoming someone who can handle what I want to give you. Before you could not have handled it, which is why I made you wait. But now you can. You are becoming someone who will steward the blessing wisely. You are becoming someone who will use the provision for my purposes, not just your own comfort. You are becoming someone who will point others toward me when they see how I have moved in your life. This transformation is priceless. It is actually more valuable than the miracle itself. Circumstances change. Provision can be gained and lost. But the character development that has happened in you during this season will stay with you forever. You are not the same person you were when this started. You are better. You are stronger. You are wiser. You are more compassionate toward others who are suffering. You are more patient with processes that take time. You are more dependent on me. And all of these qualities position you for greater things ahead. I am so proud of you. I know you do not feel like someone I should be proud of. You see all your failures and shortcomings. You remember every time you doubted, every moment you complained, every instance you almost gave up. But I see the bigger picture. I see someone who kept going when quitting would have been so much easier. I see someone who held on to faith when faith was all they had left. I see someone who is still here, still listening, still believing, still trusting me. And that makes me proud. The miracle that is about to manifest in your life is not the end of your story. It is actually the beginning of a new chapter. Up until now, you have been in a season of preparation. Now you are about to step into the fullness of what I have planned for you. The breakthrough is the door into a whole new dimension of purpose and blessing and impact. What lies ahead of you is more exciting than anything you have experienced before. The dreams that seem to die during the waiting season are about to be resurrected in forms more beautiful than their original versions. The purposes that seemed impossible are about to become achievable. The impact that seemed beyond your reach is about to become your daily reality. Do not limit what you allow yourself to imagine about the future, because I am a God who does exceedingly abundantly above all that you can ask or think. Your best case scenario is actually my starting point. The thing that would make you fall to your knees in gratitude if it happened is merely the beginning of what I have prepared for you. What seems like an impossible dream to you, something so far beyond your current reality that you almost feel guilty for even imagining it, is an easy task for me. I created the universe by speaking it into existence. I parted the sea for my people to walk through on dry ground. I shut the mouths of lions and made fire refuse to burn and brought the dead back to life. There is nothing too hard for me, and there is nothing too good for you. Expand your expectations. I am giving you permission to dream bigger than you have ever dreamed before. Stretch your vision beyond the safe and reasonable and predictable. Dare to believe for things that would require my supernatural intervention to accomplish, because that is exactly the kind of thing I love to do. When you limit your expectations to what seems possible, you limit what you are able to receive. When you expand your expectations to match my power and my love for you, you position yourself to receive blessings that will leave everyone who sees them wondering what they just witnessed. I want you to begin to see yourself differently. Not as someone barely surviving, not as someone who is always one crisis away from disaster, not as someone who has to fight for every good thing and usually loses the fight. I want you to see yourself as someone who is deeply loved by the God of the universe, someone for whom good things are coming, someone whose best days are not behind them but ahead of them. This shift in how you see yourself is not arrogance. It is alignment with how I see you. And when your self-perception aligns with my perception of you, everything changes. I want to speak now about the love that has been carrying you through this entire season. There is no love in this world as pure or as great as mine. Human love, as beautiful as it can be, has limitations. It can fade when circumstances become difficult. It can waver when disappointment sets in. It can be conditional, requiring certain behaviors or outcomes before it is fully given. But my love is different. My love does not depend on what you do. My love does not fluctuate based on your performance. My love is constant and steady and sure. Some people cannot understand this kind of love. They have been so wounded by the failures of human love that they cannot accept that there is a love that never fails. They have built walls around their hearts to protect themselves from being hurt again. And in their pain, they sometimes try to convince others that this kind of love does not exist. They try to plant seeds of doubt and cynicism in the hearts of everyone around them. But I am asking you to reject those voices. I am asking you to open your heart to receive the fullness of my love. My love will not fail you. My love is faithful. My love is true. My love is the foundation upon which your entire life can be built. When you truly grasp how much I love you, everything changes. The fear that has been holding you back loses its grip. The shame that has been weighing you down begins to lift. The doubt that has been clouding your vision starts to clear. Because when you know that you are loved unconditionally by the God of the universe, what is there left to fear? I want you to seek me and know me more. The miracle that is coming is wonderful, but it is not the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is relationship. The ultimate goal is intimacy. The ultimate goal is knowing me so deeply that you are never shaken regardless of what happens around you. Do not just seek my hands, seek my face. Do not just come to me when you need something. Come to me because you love being in my presence. Do not just pray when you have a problem. Pray because communion with me is the greatest joy of your life. The breakthrough that is coming is going to remove some of the desperate need that has driven you to your knees. Make sure that when the desperation is gone, the devotion remains. I have so much more I want to show you beyond this miracle. I have so much more I want to teach you about who I am and who you are in me. I have so much more I want to give you that has nothing to do with material provision and everything to do with knowing me more deeply. The miracle that is manifesting now is just the beginning. There are layers and dimensions and depths of my goodness that you have not even begun to explore. This is not the culmination of everything I have for you. This is the commencement. This is not the finish line. This is the starting block for a whole new race that you are about to run with me. As I bring this word to a close, I want to leave you with some declarations to carry in your heart. These are not just nice thoughts to make you feel better. These are spiritual realities that I'm speaking over you with all the authority of heaven behind them. Carry them with you. Repeat them to yourself when doubt tries to creep back in. Stand on them when circumstances seem to contradict what I have said. You are loved, not because of anything you have done, but because of who I am. My love for you is not a response to your worthiness. It is an expression of my nature. I loved you before you ever did anything to deserve it, and I will keep loving you no matter what happens in the future. You are chosen. Out of all the people in the world, I chose you. Not because you were the best candidate, not because you had the most impressive qualifications, but because my heart was drawn to you, and I decided that you would be mine. That decision has never wavered, and it never will. You are destined for triumph. The defeats you have experienced are not the end of your story. They are chapters in a much larger narrative that culminates in victory. Every battle you have lost has been preparing you for the war you are about to win. The miracle is coming. It is real. It is certain. It is imminent. Everything I have spoken over you is going to come to pass. Every promise I have made is going to be fulfilled. Every dream I have planted in your heart is going to bear fruit. Prepare your heart to receive what I am releasing. Open your hands to accept what I am giving. Lift up your eyes to see what I am doing. The season is changing. The breakthrough is here. The miracle is now. I see every prayer you have prayed. I have heard every cry of your heart. I have collected every tear in a sacred bottle, not one of them forgotten or wasted. And I am answering. Not partially, not eventually. Fully and now. The windows of heaven are opening over your life in ways that are about to become visible to your natural eyes. What has been held back is now being poured out in abundance that will overflow from your life into the lives of everyone around you. You will look back on this season and see that it was all worth it. The waiting was not wasted. The struggling was not pointless. The crying out in the darkness was not ignored. Every single moment was building toward this breakthrough. Every single experience was preparing you for this blessing. Every single step was leading you to this destination. The miracle that arrives in your life is going to be so complete, so perfect, so exactly what you needed that you will know without any doubt that it came from my hand. No coincidence could have arranged this. No human effort could have produced this. No natural process could have created this. This is supernatural. This is divine. This is a miracle in the truest sense of the word. And when you experience it, when you hold it in your hands, when you live in the reality of it, remember me. Remember that it came from me. Remember that my love is the reason it exists. Remember that our relationship is the context in which it has meaning. The miracle is meant to draw you closer to me, not further away. The blessing is meant to deepen our connection, not replace it. I am not just the giver of gifts. I am the gift. The miracle is wonderful, but I am better. The breakthrough is amazing, but relationship with me is more amazing still. Do not stop at the blessing. Keep pressing into the one who blessed you. Do not be satisfied with the answer. Keep seeking the one who answered. You are standing at the threshold of something extraordinary. In just a moment, everything is going to shift. The wait is over. The answer has arrived. The miracle is here. Step into it with confidence. Receive it with gratitude. Embrace it with joy. Let it transform not just your circumstances, but your entire life. Let it be the catalyst for a deeper relationship with me, a stronger faith, a more powerful testimony, a more significant impact on everyone around you. This is your moment. This is your breakthrough. This is your miracle. Amen. If this message touched your heart, I encourage you to share it with someone who needs to hear these words. There is someone in your life right now who is going through their own season of waiting. Someone who is on the verge of giving up. Someone who desperately needs to be reminded that God has not forgotten them and that their miracle is coming. Be the person who delivers that message of hope to them. Type Amen in the comments if you receive this blessing over your life. Type Amen if you believe that your miracle is on its way. Type Amen if you are ready to step out of fear and into the fullness of what God has prepared for you. Subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a message from God. He has so much more He wants to speak into your life, and I do not want you to miss a single word. Share this video with everyone who needs encouragement. You never know whose life might be changed by hearing exactly what God wanted to say to them. God bless you abundantly, and may His miracle manifest in your life in ways that exceed everything you have asked for or imagined.